Azrael, known as Malik al-Maut, the Angel of Death, is one of the most mysterious and awe-inspiring beings described in spiritual traditions, appearing not only in Islamic sources but also in Jewish and Christian lore. Yet the deepest and most detailed accounts come from Islamic narrations, where he is not merely a harbinger of death or a frightening figure, but a divine servant tasked with guiding the soul from the moment it is created until the moment it leaves the body, a role that began long before humanity walked the earth, when the world was still incomplete, when there was no concept of death, when Adam had not yet been formed, and life itself had yet to begin. For in those early moments of creation, God commanded the angels to bring him dust from the earth to shape the first human body, and he sent Michael. But when Michael came to the earth pleaded with him not to take its soil, and out of compassion, Michael returned empty-handed. Then Gabriel was sent, but the earth again cried out, and Gabriel too felt mercy and left it untouched. Then Azrael was sent, and at that time he was not yet the angel of death, simply a quiet, obedient, steadfast servant among the hosts of heaven. Yet when he heard the earth's plea, he did not turn back, for he valued the command of his Lord above all, and so he gathered the dust and returned with it. Some traditions say he promised the earth that it would one day reclaim what was taken. Others say he said nothing, but the act was done, and that act proved that Azrael could carry out the most difficult tasks without hesitation, without complaint, and without letting emotion cloud his duty. And because of this, God entrusted him with the heaviest role of all, to oversee the transition of every soul from life into death, not merely to remove it from the body, but to carry it to its next appointed place, to be the guide through the threshold that no one else could cross for them. And so Azrael's mission began, one that extends to every human being, of every time, every land, every language, without exception, and his responsibility is symbolized by the great scroll or record he carries, upon which the names of every living person are written, and when a person is born, their name is inscribed, and when they die, it is erased. And Azrael does not act of his own will, nor does he choose the moment. He acts only when the command comes from God, for he is neither swayed by love nor hatred, and in that obedience lies his terrifying impartiality. For unlike the rebellious Lucifer or the warrior Michael, Azrael works in silence, waiting, watching, until the time comes, and according to descriptions from Islamic tradition, his true form is far beyond human comprehension, with 4 faces looking in all directions at once, 4,000 wings of varying kinds, some radiant and soft, carrying peace and mercy to the righteous, others dark and fearsome, forged from iron, hooks, and blades for the wicked, and his body vast beyond measure, some scholars describing 70,000 limbs, each serving a purpose, enabling him to be present for countless souls at once, his entire form covered with eyes and tongues, each eye watching over a living soul, each tongue representing its voice, and when a person dies, that eye and tongue vanish from his body, so that his very being reflects the current living population of the world, and the earth to him is no larger than a dish in his hand, so distance, time, and barriers are nothing, and he need not travel because he is already aware of every soul's location. And to the righteous, Azrael appears not as a monster but as a figure of light, gentleness, and calm, approaching saints and prophets himself rather than sending his subordinate angels, greeting them with respect and inviting them to depart in peace, as traditions tell of the Prophet Muhammad and Moses being approached directly by Azrael in such a way, while to the cruel and deceitful, his appearance mirrors their own inner corruption, manifesting is their deepest fear, and the removal of their soul is not gentle but harsh, a tearing rather than a lifting, for in Sufi understanding, Azrael's form at the moment of death reflects the state of the soul. Peace meets peace, terror meets terror, and sometimes, he appears in dreams or visions before the appointed time, as a warning or preparation, as when Rumi is said to have met him in human form near his death and welcomed him without fear, or when the Persian poet Nasir Khusraw dreamt of him and was given time to prepare. And his influence is not limited to humans alone, for even angels are still when he passes, the hosts of heaven pausing in their work, for Michael may lead armies, Gabriel may carry revelation, Israfil may hold the trumpet of the last day, but when Azrael arrives, the matter is finished, for he comes not with warnings but with certainty, and his authority extends even over death itself, for death, in Islamic narration, is a created being, shown to the angels at the dawn of time, so fearsome that they fell unconscious for 1,000 years, and yet Azrael was given command over it, to the point where some say he does not follow death, but death follows him. And at the end of all things, after the day of judgment, when the righteous and the wicked are divided, death will be brought forth in the form of a ram, and God will slay it between paradise and hell, ending it forever, and Azrael's task will be complete, his role dissolved into eternity, and until that day, he remains the unseen boundary between life and what lies beyond, appearing in poetry, literature, and even popular culture, sometimes as a peaceful guide, sometimes as a fearsome reaper, inspiring works from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow to G.K. Chesterton, and even finding his name given to a cat in a children's cartoon. Yet beneath all these interpretations, the truth of Azrael remains that he is not an agent of cruelty but of divine order, a being feared and honored alike, who moves without haste and without delay, untouched by persuasion, for his coming means only one thing: the time is over.